Welcome to My Trash Taste, a series where I'm going to review the latest season or movies in tokusatsu, but also some of the classic seasons or movies. Because today's episode of Ultraman Decker is a clip show, I don't really need to review it. So I'm going to review the 2004 Ultraman film, better known in the tokusatsu community as Ultraman the Next. This movie was a part of the Ultra N project. With Ultraman Nexus, it was an attempt to revitalize the Ultraman franchise for more adult audiences. This movie was somewhat of a prequel to Ultraman Nexus, not only lore-wise but also a part of the canon, with the monster attack being also referenced in the show. Sadly, Ultraman Nexus wasn't a success, with one of the main reasons being the time slot. It was too early for adults to wake up and watch, and the stories and the monster suits were a lot more darker and more adult oriented for kids to actually sit down, watch and enjoy. With the lower rating and toy sales, a lot of episodes in Nexus needed to get cut. Tsuburaya decided pretty much to scrap the entire Ultra N project and return to a much more light-hearted and fun season for a lot more of a young audiences in Ultraman Max. So after you got your entire backstory that you probably skipped over, let's talk about Ultraman the Next. The movie follows First Lieutenant Maki of the Japan Air Self-Defense Force, a prestigious F-15 Eagle jet pilot, a lifelong fan of flying since he was a child. Being a pilot was his ultimate dream, but unfortunately his duty distanced himself from his wife Yoko, who feels negated, and his son Tsugumu, who has a possibility of a terminal blood disease. Maki decided to quit the Air Force to devote more time to his family and to spend whatever time is left with his son. He takes a part-time job in a commercial tour guide for a kindly group of people who allows him to take care of his family. Prior to quitting, Maki and his flight partner Masao are alerted to a strange red light striking towards Japan. After Masao needed to return to the base because his jet started malfunctioning, his plane passes through the red light, seemingly without damage. He suffered no ill effects other than strange images briefly playing out in his mind. He later discovered that those images are telepathically messages from a strange being that exists in the red light that can make Maki into the Ultraman. So now let's talk about what I liked, what I kind of was in the middle about, and the things that I didn't like. All of the physical suits are absolutely gorgeous. If we talk about Ultraman the Next, from his infant form to his Genis form is absolutely gorgeous. The infant's form being shiny silver armor with a lot of really cool small details is really awesome looking, making him look way more like an alien than other Ultramans. His Genis form, from the really amazing looking silver and bright red, making this again very nod to the original Ultraman color scheme, but still making it look and feel more modern. Everything about those two suits are gorgeous and amazing. We can jump even to the monster of the film, not really be named fully, but the one is also really cool. Its first form is absolutely creepy looking like almost like a carnivore reptile, with the really interesting and intricate design to everything. And one of the coolest aspects about it is the human looking eyes, and there is a lot of close-up shot of those eyes. His second form is absolutely terrific. I love how not only the entire concept of the suit looks like, but the color scheme absolutely kills it. Its third form was kind of bland. I think the single use of color really hurts it because the base design really looks great. I really like how this world really felt. It felt like our world. The Japanese army, it had actually the US army. This is a lot more than what I remember from other Ultra shows. Sometimes in other Ultra shows we do get our odd maybe 1 to 2 cops, but seeing a full army barricading the entire city, seeing reporters going on TV and talking about how much Japan is going on martial law is really cool, and something that we barely even get in Ultraman ever. Maki was really great. He fully fitted to the role of an Ultraman protag, from caring about the people around him when he understands that a part of his role of being Ultraman is maybe dying in battle, but not caring because he understands that's a part of the job. And I think one of the coolest things that not a lot of protagonists in Ultraman do anymore, and that is really questioning why they were chosen and if they really want to fight, because it is a scary job no matter what. Still die in battle and having a protagonist that's, oh, I don't know if I really want to do that and I am scared that maybe the government in one point would kill me, is something that not a lot of Ultramen actually talk about. I like the concept of the monster taking over a human as a host like the Ultras do, and there is this specific scene in the film very close to the end. I'm not going to give any plot details, but you see the host of the monster and the monster kind of merged and it looked really cool. The prosthetics that came out of his back and his face looked absolutely terrifying and so cool. Some of the other things that I like, that I'm going to just rapid fire kind of talking about it, is Maki's son. How much, yeah, I get the cliche of the son slash daughter that's clinically ill, that's really upset about his dad or mom not being around. Having him encourage his dad being a pilot is really great, and something that from time to time we don't really see in this genre. I found most of the side characters being really fun. Now let's talk about the story. It wasn't really amazing. It's very much monster bad, Ultraman good. There were some small details, but I cannot say it was absolutely amazing. It was very passable. Very cliche, very kind of shallow water. It's good, but it's not absolutely amazing. I think today it would have probably be a lot better, and probably the Ultraman project would have continued, but we can't really talk about whataboutism. Let's talk about some of the bads. I think some of the acting wasn't good. Yeah, the entire backstory of Sarah the scientist and the person that was merged with the monster didn't really catch on that great. It's primarily with lack of actual development. The other things that I didn't like, there were too many time jumps. There was a year later time jump and then a 3-year later time jump. And it was weird because it came to a point with no rhyme or reason. Characters just change places and they change entire personality, and the characters interact with them regularly, but for us as audience members it's kind of more difficult to see one character in one way and then like 5 minutes later the character changes, and there isn't really this time to kind of understand how they really changed from now to basically 3 years later. The best character to kind of show it is Masao. Personality kind of changes from very much a regular human being to I am very serious soldier now. I didn't really got the entire time jump thing and just completely kind of changing the characters' personalities. I don't know, but that's pretty much it. So here's the thing about the way that I score movies and TV shows in this kind of format. I'm doing percentages, but we're doing it golf style. That means the lower the number, the better the show / movie is, but if you get a higher number, it's not good. Example, 10, amazing, 100, really bad. So, in that case, Ultraman the Next, aka Ultraman, I give it a 40. It's perfectly fine. It's not amazing, but it's not absolutely bad. Before I bid you all adieu, I am going to review episode 3 of Futo PI alongside of a small little review of episode 2. I'm working on a semi-longer formed video for Kamen Rider Saber. I just needed to rewrite a bunch of stuff. So yeah, thank you very much. I will bid you all adieu. Goodbye, good night. Subscribe to the channel, like the video if you liked it. Tell your friends. See you later.